NBA 2K21 on the PlayStation 5 has been a fairly fun experience for the first month. However, after having played for around a year with mods on PC, I'd be lying if I said this was the same groundbreaking experience that NBA 2K14 was 7 years ago. With the level of that jump, it felt like something that I had to have. There was simply no alternative that could even come close to standing in place of the real thing. However, if you're currently stuck playing NBA 2K21 for the year on last gen, for whatever the reason may be, maybe you can't afford a next gen console right now, maybe you can't find one because they're still impossible to get your hands on. If you just so happen to have even a decent gaming PC, there's a lot you can do with NBA 2K21 mods on the standard version that will make you feel like you're not exactly missing out just yet. So of course this all starts with the graphics, right? That's the first thing you're going to look for in any next gen sports upgrade. So here's NBA 2K21, the standard version on PC. This is just nothing done to it, fresh out of the box. And this is that same game with the reshade mod. Now with this specific reshade, which is something I had to go buy, it's not released to the public yet, I think where you really notice the difference is when you pause and go into the replay editor. And when you look around from certain angles, it's like, wow, even after nearly a month of PlayStation 5, this does not look outdated. Like, if I just absolutely had to be stuck with this version, even knowing the PS5 is out there, I don't think I would feel that left out. Especially looking at some of these screenshots from this very same reshade that I found on Instagram, some of these are damn near competing with the new consoles. However, this is just the project that I was able to get my hands on for this video. With some of the lighting projects that I found from modders that have YouTube channels, they might be a little bit better than what just released last month. Maybe. This is the Project Zero lighting mod that was being worked on as the game released in September, and if I'm being real with you, I consider this alternative next gen. In other words, just a different take on the way that a basketball game can look while rivaling what's out now, because I don't think anybody would mind playing with this until the actual next gen version releases for PC and NBA 2K22. And while we're on that subject, let's not forget that if you're looking at it as a trend line, the graphics actually went downwards after 2K14 last gen. I don't find it impossible that NBA 2K22 is not even going to look as good as what we have right now. Then it's going to release on PC where they will promptly pass them once again. But for now, I don't really need to spend too long on this point. There are many different directions that you can go with the graphics on NBA 2K21, and you're only going to have more as time passes. The modder that's working on Project Zero makes it a point in other mods to make the game look as close as possible to what's on the next gen consoles, and I don't think he's done a bad job. So even if it never looks identical or even better, there's enough there that you can obtain to not feel left out. And of course, the one place that PC absolutely crushes console and always will is with customization. You're simply always going to have a better selection of jerseys, courts, cyber faces. And credit to 2K, on the consoles they did give players like Anthony Davis many different looks, same as Dwight Howard. So if you are doing some type of My League where you don't want a prime Dwight to have dreads or braids or whatever, he can look like prime Howard. I think that's cool, but still, it's not even coming close to touching what you can do with the standard version on a PC. Like, check this out, this project was actually worth its own video. So just recently, a lot of you know that for the My League you can download other player scenarios. I believe that's something you can do on both versions of the game, and somebody's actually created the NBA in 1949 so that you can download that and start the NBA from the beginning basically. And that's cool, but as you can probably expect on a console that just dropped not even a month ago, the shit doesn't really work. A lot of users can't even thumb through the rosters without the game crashing. People using My NBA at all have reported that it's been corrupting the rest of their files. There's a lot of problems there, right? But once that gets figured out in a month or so, there's still the issue of, okay, how do I make the courts look exactly the way they looked in 1960 per se? When I draft a player like Anthony Davis, if the sim goes that far, how do I have him look like a rookie and not like he's in his prime? Because of the simplicity and the improvements in gameplay, I still might end up using the PlayStation 5 for this sim. However, a group of modders were doing something similar that you can actually nail with a bit more accuracy called 2K77, where the idea is to restart the NBA in the year 1977. Now sure, it's not the beginning of NBA history, but you can definitely be a lot more accurate with the PC version because they're going to be working on their own draft classes, they're creating all types of courts and jerseys for when you advance to certain decades. And so in essence, if I was able to get my hands on the, let's say, Project Zero lighting mod and combine it with the 77 mod, I might be better off using the PC than what just came out. Anyway, we might as well have a look at the 77 mod since the devs were nice enough to hand me a demo project specifically for a video like this. And from the time you boot up the game, you can already see the work that's gone into it. They've replaced all the loading screens, they've replaced everything about the original menu so that it doesn't look as bland as the standard version, while also giving off that retro NBA vibe. And while there were only 3 teams on this demo version that I was given, they've taken care of all the details, seriously. Every player's portrait is replaced, you don't have guys playing for the wrong team as you often do on the store release. That is clearly an edited Dr. J cyberface, so again, something cool as he reaches older age or he reaches retirement age. Something that you would have is an older Dr. J waiting on you. You'd literally be able to go through each phase of a superstar's career in a sim like this, thanks to the customization options of the PC. You want to know something else that I highly doubt you're getting for authenticity on the consoles? Old scoreboards. This is practically basically the old Boston Arena to a T. The hardwood, the colors. Yes, they are also going to replace the Dorna, so in this demo version you see TSOT there. That is not something that will be in the final release. It'll be something that you would actually expect to see from 77. That's also something you can upgrade with time. There's no 3-point line here, the coaches were accurate. It's pretty incredible the amount of detail that's going into this project. Think I'm exaggerating? Check out in the Motor Center, they have the old Apple logo. And if you were to go look it up, you would see that that is the exact logo from 1977. Inside the Philadelphia 76ers Center, you've got the Coca-Cola logo on the Jumbotron, and hey, look at that, Star Wars. Anybody want to take a guess when that started? Oh, and if for some reason you were incorporating blacktop mode into this, they've also replaced the menus here, got rid of the recycled Ringers and Ballers logos, and they place you inside Rucker Park, which really makes it sad that not only have they been using the same exact court for many years, but even on PlayStation 5, it's basically the same court with just a picture in the middle. And down the line, I am pretty sure there will be about 3 or 4 more blacktop courts that you can use by simply dragging and dropping files. Just going back to the basics of the mod itself, in case I was not clear, they're also going to be working on as many draft classes as possible. So you start the NBA in 1977, and instead of having a 78 and 79 draft that just have a couple of real players and everybody else be generics, with having a group of modders having worked on the draft class, you're going to have much more deeper and much more accurate drafts. Now of course it's probably impossible to have every single player, but it's much better than just having like 3 or 4 every draft, which is what 2K comes with. So just in this short amount of time, I've given you a couple of different ways that you can still make the standard version of NBA 2K21 useful if you don't plan on getting a console this year, or you're waiting until 2K22, or whatever your case may be. Just based off the customization alone and the amount of people working on graphics mods, this really is not a situation like 2013 where if you didn't have a PlayStation 4, you were just screwed. Another thing that I found when I was toying around with this back in October is that modders were basically just building upon things they'd already done in 2K20 and transferring them right over to this game. So just in these first 2 months, there's already a crazy amount of content there. As you can see, this 2K77 mod, I would assume sometime in the next 2 months is gonna drop, and if you're into simulations or my leagues, you're gonna have an endless amount of opportunity there, and depending on what global you're using, you really might not care to have the next gen version. I'm about 99% sure that NBA 2K22 will be dropping for PC, and so this modding community is just growing. The people getting into modding is growing. The people creating mods is growing. And so whatever drops on the base versions of the consoles next year, I am just going to go ahead and put my money on the fact that it's going to be 8,000 times better on PC. I mean, if they can make the last gen version bearable within the first 2 months of it dropping, I cannot wait to see what they do with the new assets. Anyways, the links to a lot of the things that I used are in the comment section and description. There are how-to videos there for you to learn how to mod. It's very easy. It's literally just dragging and dropping, as it is every year. If you were modding 2K20, then you're not gonna have a problem here. I've linked you to the modder that is doing the lighting mods because he's going to drop those whenever he's ready. And of course the 2K Specialist website, which basically just has all these mods in one place, makes everything easy to find. You can just go down the line and download almost everything there and instantly have a better experience. What do you think about next gen as compared to what you can do on PC this year? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Also hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications every time a new video drops. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.